talked about Scott James. That car obviously set up for the top part of the racetrack. Is Bloomquist making a run now off turn 4 for the lead?
Down the front straightaway. Yeah, they might have touched just a little bit. Hard to tell. Oh, an immediate flat tire on Scott James.
Oh,
and that's going to collect Brad Neat as the rest of the field tries to dodge him. And James,
oh wow.
like he tried to get out there into the pits. Really tough to see. It looked like maybe they touched. He and, of course, Bloomquist at the end of the straightaway there. Take another look at it. Bloomquist comes up and James' car goes sideways just a small amount. And you know, it doesn't take much. I mean, that sheet metal is sharp.
Man, that's a tough call right there. I mean, they were so close to each other, and if he touched him, it was ever so slightly, that's for sure. And yeah, I don't think Scott James is too happy, and he is signifying to the official that he's going to head off the racetrack there. But you know, they should be able to get that thing changed, and he should be able to make his way back out onto the track with just a few laps left to go. But it's sure a shame for Scott James. He led some laps at Lawrenceburg last year and kind of had the same thing happen to him. We can see that left rear tire, and like you said, one little piece of sheet metal gets into it, it will cut it, but there's not a whole lot of tire left there. He's been pretty much locked down to the top part of the racetrack, which means that left rear is always in the slick. So, yeah, tough call.
Looks like there might be a cut there on the sidewall, which also could have been caused from him driving on it flat. Yeah, it's really difficult to speculate what really caused that, other than the fact that it just went immediately after what looked like slight contact. He immediately had the flat tire. That's the only solid indicator.
Just spoke to Tommy Hicks, Scott Bloomquist crew chief. He says no damage to that race car, just some sheet metal. He should be good to go the rest of the way. Now the question, can he hold off that charging Jimmy Owens?
So, Dave, on the other side of the story there, and that would be an indicator, I guess, they felt like they did touch. So, tough break for Scott James, no matter what you say. I mean, just a great competition between he and Bloomquist there for so many laps, and then Owens coming into the mix. I mean, we were going to have a three-way battle for sure.
Well, it certainly wasn't intentional. I mean, you can see him coming down the front straightaway, Scott James on the top, Bloomquist was down low, really just a racing thing. And if they touched, they touched. If they didn't, they didn't. Meanwhile, Bloomquist is now out front. James is deep in the field.
Yeah, and by the way, Scott James, very vocal, as he always has been throughout his career. Once again, the battle begins for the lead, and look at the battle there for third place as well.
Wow. Bloomquist holding off Jimmy Owens, but Brad Neat slipping and sliding around on turn 4 as Jared Landers in the 777 put a move on him, looked like below the tractor tires to take the spot, and it looks like maybe trouble now for Neat as Eddie Carrier Jr. now goes side by side with Del McDowell for 5th.
We'll be right back with more of the 50 River Days Rumble. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series has been brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink, the world's most powerful energy drink. General Tire, unleash the fury. And by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. We are on board with Scott Bloomquist, your leader here at the MagnaFlow Exhaust River Days Rumble, looking back at Jimmy Owens, who started 22nd. It has been an incredible run for the 20 car.
1 and 2 in the points again. We talked about the battle all season long, and Bloomquist starts up front, is your leader. Owens comes from deep, right on his rear bumper, just a handful of laps left to go. Who will it be for the 10 grand here at Portsmouth Raceway Park?
Owens to the top shelf, trying to get some fight off of that cushion. Bloomquist still making it work. It's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to pass him. Bloomquist right through the center of the turn.
Scott Bloomquist has been very good on that low line. You can see lap 47 of 50 as Jimmy Owens doing all he can to try and get by him and pick up his 7th win of the year. So we go back to Don O'Neill and Steve Francis as they go side by side for 7th.
It's about 3 laps left to go. On board with the 777 of Jared Landers, who started off 14th. Now he's working his way into a podium position.
Landers looking for his 4th podium finish of the year and doing a great job in his first full season with the series. Don O'Neill and Steve Francis still going side by side mid-pack. Each of those drivers looking for another top 10 finish. But if we go back up front, it's been Scott Bloomquist in the Team Zero looking for his 11th win of 2011. and he is getting it done. Jimmy Owens right behind him in second as they come off turn 4. White flag is out.
He's got some breathing room. Looks like Bloomquist will pick up his 514th career win. What an amazing number. And more importantly, is able to pick away. He's at least doing what he has to do to get closer to Owens for that championship. They finished 1-2. Again, this battle a little bit deeper. And O'Neal just ahead of Steve Francis.
So the checker flag comes out. Scott Bloomquist trying to chase down Jimmy Owens. He'll gain a little bit on the O show in the chase for the 2011 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship. And man, it was a little dusty, it was a little hot, but a great racetrack, side-by-side, 3-wide racing here at Portsmouth.
Yeah, this crew, this track really did an amazing job based on the heat that we had all day long. And of course, Scott Bloomquist, if he can back it up tomorrow night with the Hillbilly 100, will pick up a bonus $5,000 to go along with the $20,000, $25,000 that's available for tomorrow night. So all in all, a $40,000 hit if he can pull off the double. There's a look at your Geico unofficial results. And as you can see, just a number of players out here having a good night. Unfortunately for Earl Pearson Jr., once again, back down there at the bottom of the pile. And Scott James, who led for so many laps, gets the flat tire with 7 to go.
Tommy Hicks, the crew chief there, alongside Scott Bloomquist as they head toward victory lane now for the 11th time this season. His 37th career Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win.
Great overhead shot as well of the top 3. Congrats to all. Jimmy Owens, we talked about the big run from the back, and Jared Landers as well. And the 777 out of Batesville, Arkansas, another solid effort from 14th place. All these guys, really a great late race setup.
Well, and that's the key in a lot of these races with this series is you got to be good at the end for sure. But to get to the front as quick as Scott did, he had a good car. He worked the bottom line. He worked the top line. He made it happen. He held off Jimmy Owens, and that's why he gets to hold the big $10,000 check here tonight at Portsmouth Raceway Park. So just another awesome year for Scott Bloomquist. You know, last year he picked up 9 wins. We thought that was impressive. So far this year, already 11.
And your E3 Spark Plugs point standings, Jimmy Owens and Scott Bloomquist closes that gap by about 20 points. He's still picking away at it. Let's go down to the winner's circle with Dave Argerbright.
I'll tell you, Scott, this has been a season where it's the Scott and Jimmy show and the points, and now here you are on the racetrack with the 20 car. Is this sort of a microcosm of what this year has been?
Yeah, it really has, you know. I mean, I really was surprised to see that he got to second. You know, he must have been pretty good. I don't know if we got away from him at the end or not, but, you know, to come from where he started, you know, he must have been pretty good. So, you know, it's nice to know our cars are working good like always, and, you know, felt good to win this one, though. You know, we just made up 20 points, but, you know, I think we're down to 110 now. Just keep chipping away.
You know, the pivotal moment of that race came on the restart with you and Scott James. Take us back. What was the series of events and what happened?
Well, actually, I didn't know that we were the only two that passed the line, but I was ahead of him when that caution come out, and I thought I should have been in front, but I guess there weren't enough cars went by. But you know, we were racing each other good again, just like we were before the caution, and I don't know, you know, I know he had plenty of room, but we somehow got a little bit together. That cut his tire down. I'm sure there was plenty of room. He acted like he was upset, but, you know, he should have been upset with me.
Well, you're the winner. Congratulations, another good run.
Thank you.
Well, Jimmy, you had a rough start to your night, worked your way through the B main, started in the 11th row, but you have to be happy with the second place finish.
Yeah, you know, it's been a rough night qualifying. We missed the track and the heats and everything, you know, we were just backing up all night long, and, you know, finally the track cleared off a little bit, and, you know, the cleaner it got is probably the best track we've ever had here to be able to race and pass like we did. And there toward the end, it got kind of tough to get around anybody. But, you know, to come from where we did to second, it's a really good run for tonight.
Do you think Scott's a little worried? You pulled some more points in the points championship here with tonight's finish.
He's about in as big a hurry as I was. So, you know, I know he probably seen us roll up behind him there. And, you know, you got to have a good car to come from the back that far. And really think I might have had something for him. I just got in a little bit too big of a hurry there and kind of, you know, just kind of shot myself in the foot. But, you know, congratulations to him and all the guys and Jared. And, you know, I want to thank my crew and everything for, you know, putting this Reese Monument car up front and giving us the right equipment to run with.
Our current points leader with a second place finish here tonight.
To the top two competitors there. We'll give you a quick flashback here before we talk to third place. This is how it all started off.
Yeah, Scott James out on the outside of row number 1 pretty much led the first 2/3 of this race. Very fast here tonight. We saw Dale McDowell, of course, Steve Casebolt made a run early there as well as Scott Bloomquist, and that man Jimmy Owens would certainly put on a show as he came from very deep to second place.
These two put on a great show, Scott James and Scott Bloomquist, for a number of laps, and then eventually got together. That would cause a flat left rear for James. Very disappointed, and rightfully so. Brad Neat gets caught up in the mess a little bit as well. And the one guy, though, that comes from 14th with a rocket chassis and fills out the podium is Jared Landers.
Jared Landers' terrific run to third place tonight. You told me earlier this is only like your second time here in a late model. This place apparently likes you very much.
Well, it does. I mean, the track was pretty racy tonight, and we come, we started 14th. We had a bad round in the heat race. The team stayed together. We crashed some stuff, and we got together. We knew we had a good car. If I could pull the heat race off, we started close to the front, but I don't think I could have done anything with these guys. They're too good. I mean, they had a half straightaway on me there at the end, or maybe even more. I'll take third place to these guys any day.
Jared Landers, a good run here at Portsmouth.
Once again, Scott Bloomquist picks up 10 grand. Let's get it back down for final thoughts.
Well, this one was a good one, guys, and I think what it came down to is the 0 car and the 20 just wanted it an awful badly race here tonight.
They did, and Jimmy Owens wanted it so bad that he worked his way up from 22nd, guys, up here to second place. He said he's just taking one race at a time, and that championship is getting closer and closer with every race he finishes.
And a little bit of controversy with the 81. Everything you need for a great race here at Portsmouth.
Of course, we had some other great drivers picking up some cool specialty awards as well.
Yeah, Frank Hekenas Jr., the rookie, picks up his first top 10 of the year. Brad Neat picks up his third top 5 of the year. And Eddie Carrier Jr. from 16th to 5th. A good show here tonight at Portsmouth.
Yeah, that was all part of what made it awesome. Hope you folks enjoyed all the great racing action. This telecast has been produced by Lucas Oil Studios in association with Speed.